I've been testing the PiKVM Switch for the last couple of weeks. Actually, I was testing it a few months ago, a little bit. Then they revved on some firmware, and then I tested it again and tested it with every single device I had. So that's been a super fun project over the last couple of weeks. I can't wait to get my desktop space back here on my workbench because I only have one space to do things, and I kind of want to get to the next project. So I've like had this set up for like 2 weeks straight, and it's fun. It's fun playing with all these devices. But now it's time to tear it down. It's kind of sad. Like every video I do it's like kind of bittersweet. Because they're mini projects for me to get to play with stuff, do stuff, tell you guys about it, and then release it. And then no sooner, am I working on the next thing. So I have very little time to kind of like celebrate or be sad about the video's performance. But this one's doing good. So I feel like I should take a day off, but I can't. Might take the evening off. We'll see. I might watch a movie tonight, which is rare. So anyways, that's what I've been working on. Also, I have a couple things coming up. I have something cool coming up. I think with the JetKVM. I have one. I back that. That came. I'm excited about that. There's something I want to do with them that's a little bit special. So we'll see. I hope to get that out. But next, I'll spill the beans. Next coming is my HomeLab software tour, right? It's really my self-hosted tour. So everything I've been self-hosting, everything I am self-hosting up until this point, I needed to kind of break up those two videos because the hardware and software ones, while super similar, it's nice to kind of have a break to work on something else. So this was my break in between doing the self-hosted tour next. And then it might be back to JetKVM, or it might be back to my mini rack, as you saw in Gearling's video. That's doing awesome. The mini rack revolution. He asked me to be a part of that, and that was super fun. And so I have some ideas for my mini rack, and so I'm excited to get to that. So it's cool. I got a little bit of software, a little bit of hardware. I like to keep bouncing back and forth between the two because otherwise I go crazy. Anyways, all that aside, I've been talking a lot. I'll continue to talk a little bit more, but I'd rather talk about what you guys are working on because that's what we're here for. So if you have something you want to share, I'll just say it again, throw it into chat. We'll talk about it, highlight it on screen, keep it related to tech, mostly, kind of keep it drama free. I don't know. I don't really like drama. So, but yeah, if you have something you want to share, please throw it in chat. Let's talk about it. All right. I'm going to the top. The top is kind of way up there. So let's see. Loud and clear. Oh, there's all my testing. What are you guys working on? Happy New Year. I am Upa. Hey, Happy New Year to you too. I appreciate it. Dude, Bill Nash, how's it going? Dude, thank you so much. Sup, nerds? Well, refreshed. Man, you refreshed the hype train right at the end, man. Thank you. I think that's what happened. Dude, thank you so much. Bill Nash, resub, 1 month, tier 1. Dude, 25 months, so over a year. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Sup, nerds? Sup, nerds. I wouldn't expect anything less from Bill Nash. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Asclepius, I said that earlier, unless it's like another 5? No, I don't think it is. I'm sorry. I have to bounce back and forth between this. I wish this was a little bit easier, but I need to learn to Twitch a little bit more. And then CBN Sandwich, dude, thank you so much. Resub, 32 months, tier 1, 32 months. Howdy, working on MongoDB, change streams, adapter. Oh, for Rockio, Rossi Corp. I'm going to say Rocky Corp or Rossi Corp. I don't know. Rossi Corp 0. Interesting. Change streams. Are those the events? So are those like streaming events when objects in your collections change? Because that's pretty cool. If so, that's pretty cool. I do some stuff, but I don't think maybe I'm using change streams and I don't know it. But oh yeah, so yeah, schema and database. Yeah. I'm on that. Like I subscribe to that. There's a good pun. Developer speak. Developer pun. I subscribed to that a while ago. And I didn't know I was doing it. I didn't want to use Kafka. I didn't want to use MQTT. Basically, I didn't want to use a message bus, but I wanted to have event-driven, programming. So basically, an event happens, it fires, and you take an action. And so that's how I designed one of the last things I worked on. And I was like, I'm not going to bring in Kafka or any kind of message bus for this. I'm just going to do it with Mongo because it supports, changes on subscriptions. So pretty cool. Yeah, cool stuff. Now I know the real name for it. So Pretty cool. That sounds awesome. Dude, thank you so much for the continued support. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right, y'all. All right. I'm going to get into this. Hey, what are you guys working on? CBP pilot. Oh, so this was a little bit earlier. I might as well call that out. So CBP pilot, thank you. I don't know if it's still here in chat, but he was mentioning my videos on Twitch were gone, and yeah, that was part of like getting banned. It like made all of my videos private. And so I was too lazy to go back in there and unclick them. They're only there for 30 days anyways. And I upload everything to YouTube the next day or day after. So I just thought I'll leave it off. I don't know. I was just like, well, I'll redirect people somewhere else. So yeah, so I appreciate you noticing, and you're exactly right. But then I consciously after that said, well, I'm not gonna show them there because I'd rather people watch it on YouTube afterwards. Owen loves rice. Hey, I love rice too. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. I'm good. I'm excited that this last video is done. Because now, one, I get to do other things, and two, I get a little bit of a break. So, and by break, I mean research things for the next one. I'm just not filming because once you start filming, that's, you know, it's rush hour. You know, like you don't stop until now. For me, that's not stopping until after the stream. So that's just how it works. So, all right. So, but I'm doing good. No, I'm doing real good. Well, I was going to say it's warm around. It kind of warmed up here. Like it was like 32-ish degrees. And I was like, oh man, this is so nice out. I was like opening the windows. I legit have the windows open because I needed some humidity to get in here and also just the fresh air. But it's back down to 10, which isn't too bad. Let's see. Support commands. All right. CBP pilot. Oh, I need better glasses. I already have glasses on. So Oopa. Mini small project for the weekend. I got a spare Raspberry Pi and an old LCD display. So I'm going to create a magic mirror for display information about my servers, quotes, stocks, I assume, weather, etc. That is awesome. I've subscribed or I've followed, you know, that magic mirror project for a long time. Like that was the dream always, to have like a magic mirror, you know, in your bathroom or whatever, to kind of get a heads up display about your day. For me, I would have it surface probably important email if that's possible. I don't know if there's like a Gmail plugin, although Gmail doesn't do the greatest job of surfacing important emails. But that sounds fun for sure. Like any kind of like display in my house that shows, you know, information, I'm all about it. So it sounds fun. Sounds like a perfect project for old things, like an older Pi, an older LCD screen, maybe an older mirror, probably not, probably a newer mirror. Because I think you need a specific kind, but that sounds like a fun project. You'll have to let me know how it goes. You have to let me go how it goes. Mr. Zen TV. Oh, hype chest? Okay, I'll open the hype chest. What's inside this hype chest? Raccoon poo? I thought that said raccoon pop. I mean, it does say raccoon. Now I can't even say raccoon right. I'm like raccoon. Rakuten. I thought it said raccoon poop at first, and I was like, what? No. So a raccoon pop. Here we go. Yeah, share it. I'm clicking all kinds of stuff. I even English sometimes. Sometimes. I'm working on it. English is my second language, even though I was born here. And no, I'm kidding. I need some dancing emotes. Yeah, I do. Not me dancing, but yeah, I do. Good day, y'all. Maybe server or network lights emotes. I like that. I like where this is going. Yeah, I do need to add some more. It's been a while since I've added some more, so I do for sure. Hitman, hey, how's it going? How's things been for you down south? Good. Hitman, I think it depends where you're at. So I know Hitman's in Canada, but it depends on where you're at because Minnesota is north of some parts of Canada. Like we're north of Toronto. So it's weird to think about. And when someone told me, I was like, no way. And I live in this state. I was like, no way. There's no way I'm north of Toronto, Canada. No way. Well, you know, Canada dips down over by the East Coast. And so, you know, you end up, it's backwards on here. You end up like this, where Toronto is south of Minneapolis. So if you're in Ontario, that side and south, I could be saying, hey, how's it going down south? So there's a large population of Canada that is south of me in Minnesota. So anyways, it's going good here. It's going good. We got some sun, I think. We haven't seen the sun in weeks, I feel like. And like I said, it warmed up a little bit. It's cooling back off, but it's good. New here on Twitch. Hey, Digi CTL, thank you so much. Woody, word for 2 days, worked for 2 days on HP Proliant DL380 Gen 7, but didn't succeed to install. Wow, interesting. What were you trying to install? I'm betting Proxmox. But I'm wondering what you didn't get to, how it didn't work. Either that or you mean hardware and you tried to physically install it and it didn't work. I hope you figured it out. Let me know. I'm betting software though. But I would think that Proliant's the DL380s. A lot of people have the DL380s and those seem to work fine. So I'm betting maybe it's hardware now. Cyber Knight, how's it going, man? Stuff. I like it. Stuff I'm working on. Completed a full CI and CD build, test, security scan, Docker image build, and deploy from self-hosted GitLab. Updating Prometheus, Grafana, Loki on one of my clusters, but like an idiot, I forgot to ensure which one I was on and messed up my dev cluster. Me fix now. Dude, you're speaking my language. This whole thing, I'm like, yeah, I know exactly what's going on. So pretty cool. You have CI and CD working. Well, back that up. You're self-hosting GitLab. Awesome. Then you build a CI/CD pipeline to build Docker images. Awesome. And then once those are built, you do you test probably before you build or during you build somewhere in CI. You do a security scan and then you push it up to your own GitLab instance, probably to the registry there. That is awesome. And then awesome. Prometheus, Grafana locally. I love it. And then I've been there too. When you say I forgot to ensure which one I was on and messed up my dev cluster. Yeah, you did a kube control without switching context and you did the wrong thing on the wrong cluster. So, which stinks. Yeah, it does stink. But dude, that is awesome. Congrats. That's a lot going on. Dude, Matt, how's it going, man? Dude, Matt, I know Matt in IRL. Dude, how's it going, man? See, dude, man. There's a lot of dude mans coming out. As soon as the dude man comes out, that means I'm speechless. Dude, Matt, how's it going? I can't get that out of my vocabulary. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. Dude, 10 gifted subs. Hope everything's going well. I hope you're doing good, man. Good to see you in here. Dude, thank you so much for the subs. I appreciate it. So, dude, see? Dude, a lot of dudes. Numo, Logic Lair, Jen Weeb, bass fisher. We got to talk because I'm a bass fisher too. I like fishing for largemouth bass. Everybody in Minnesota is all about the walleye here, but I'm like, dude, you guys gotta do some bass fishing. Anyways, bass fisher, Farland Lubber, Zemek ZMH, Crocs with socks. Oh, I'm a Crocs with socks guy. I'm a sandals with socks guy too. 3 Pork Chop Express, Big Flatus, and Cattle. Oh, I like it. Cataclysm with the 7 in there. I like the 7 as T in there because that's how I used to. Like my name, Tim, or Techno Tim, if it was ever taken, I'd change the T's to 7. So I like it because that's how I sign my name cursively too, is like a 7. I like it. Anyways, dude, Matt Curlis, thank you. Thank you so much for gifting the subs. I hope you're doing good, man. Good to see you in here. I appreciate it. Let's see, Sleepiest. It's my first time here and I've already fallen because the music slaps. All right. I'm glad my music slaps. I think that was during the intro because I saw that and I kind of laughed to myself. I was like, all right, my music slaps. Like, bet my music slaps. I'm getting all the slang today. I love it. I love hearing words that aren't commonly used in my vocab because it keeps me informed. Hey Tim, welcome back to Twitch. My work is we talked about that and that was during the sub, but that is so awesome. Again, like this just showcases like why I think HomeLabbing is awesome because you get to tinker with stuff. You tinker with a self-hosted LLM at home. Work wants to do an LLM stuff, and you say, hey, I'm kind of doing that at home, and like, cool, you're the lead. Now, that could be a good and a bad thing, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing for sure. And like, you know, if you ever get in too deep, you could just be like, hey, you know, I'm just learning this stuff. We're all learning this stuff. So anyways, that's awesome, Pals Games. Thanks again, man. Appreciate it. PC Geek, I've been working on testing out a new to me server. Oh yeah, I love new to me. Dell R730XD with 24 2.5 inch bays and 2 more optional. I thought I said optical. I was like, whoa. 2 more optional 2.5 bays in the rear. Also one on eBay and auction on a Precision 3930 rack workstation that I can't wait to tinker with. That is awesome, man. He's getting the deals. He's getting the deals. He DMs me and is like, look at all of these deals. I spent $50 and I got all these things that are worth 500. I'm like, oh man. PC Geek likes sniping in. I don't even think he's sniping in. He's just throwing bids out on stuff, and the people listing it don't get any other offers, and he gets really good deals. But that is awesome. Dude, 24 bays, 24 2.5 bays, man. That is dense. That is dense for storage. You put a lot of SSDs in there. Well, 25 or 26 to be exact. But a lot of fast storage, or even just bulk storage. That is awesome. I haven't looked at like the 2.5 mechanical drive landscape in a long time. I'm assuming, they're comparatively priced. Oh yeah, SSDs will be my Proxmox server. I was gonna say, like, I wonder if we're at a point where 2.5-inch drives, mechanical, are starting to get expensive because they're just not used anywhere anymore. So, between SSDs and NVMEs, like even SSDs, their days seem to be numbered. That factor is kind of staying around because U.2 and NVMEs are kind of using that form factor, the 2.5. They're even using like the 3.5 form factor, I think, for backwards compatibility, to just slide into servers really easily so people don't have to upgrade. But yeah, I'm curious when that'll ever go, unless it will someday. Let's see. He's like Techno for server deals. Mafni, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, because Techno he's an in-person deal finder. He goes to Goodwill and all these places, comes back and finds like, hey, for $5 I bought this whole entire server that that does all of these things, or this really obscure tech that is awesome, but I found it for $2. Yeah. PC Geeks, the eBay version of Mafni for sure. Oh, sorry, of Techno. Let's see. I have recently converted my old Optiplex to a mini PC PFSense firewall router. That is awesome. I think that is great. For sure. Like mini PCs in general, can handle being your router for sure. I think you're going to be limited by the NIC speed before you're limited on the CPU, right? And so, I mean, depending on how many clients you have, I mean, within reason. If you got 20,000 clients and you're trying to run it through a mini PC and VPN and all that stuff, no. But for home and HomeLab, it's usually more than enough. And like I said, like you run into limitations with your NIC speed and internet speed before you run into CPU bottlenecks. But that is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of playing with mini PC stuff. I wish I kind of want an army of them, but then I don't. Like every time I think about it, I'm like, yeah, I could get like, I don't know, 6, 9 of these mini PCs, and then like router, perfect use case. But when I start getting into Proxmox stuff, I'm like, I could. But then it's like, okay, storage and all this stuff. I'm like, I keep flip-flopping. I think on top of that, like, because I always want to put Proxmox even on mini PCs, then I'm like, okay, I need quote unquote 10 gig networking or minimally 2.5. And that's where it starts to get expensive. So I'm in this loop. I'm stuck in a loop of I want to and then I don't want to. So beat it. Green Tim, yay. Yeah, this is an old Twitch hoodie. I think I've worn this a total of, 10, 15 times in my life. So it still feels new. But I was like, yeah, I'm going to go with neon green. I had a red one on earlier. And I was like, I've been doing red too much. Red and blue every day. So happy Saturday. Woohoo. Happy Saturday. How's it going? Hey, Tim, Hitman. How's it going? A lot of haze. Turn on the chroma key. I like it. Yeah, totally. I could turn on the chroma key and just make my whole body my server rack right now. All right. That's happening. That's not now, but that is going to happen. I'm going to chroma key out my hoodie and, I don't know, RGB something going on. And then that will fulfill my dream of having like RGB clothes. It'd be close enough. CBP Pilot, does CI/CD work only when using Kubernetes or use it with Docker? Hey, CBP Pilot, this is a great question. So, hey, CI/CD, I hear about it. Does it only work with Kubernetes or does it only work with Docker? It doesn't have to work with anything. So CI/CD is continuous integration and continuous delivery. It's really delivery, but a lot of people say deployment, delivery. Delivery encompasses deployment because your delivery could be a package or an archive to somewhere, or whatever. But yeah, they're more concepts than anything else. And so CI, your continuous integration means that, hey, based on if you're using a Git flow, so if you're using a Git flow, when something happens, you do something. It's basically an if this, then that. Think of it like that. So if my main branch or my master branch or whatever it is, if my main branch changes, then trigger these events, right? And so you as a developer might push up some code to the main branch, and then you'll have some CI kickoff, some continuous integration. And so that CI might be testing your code. It might be building a Docker image. That's kind of in the CD part, but whatever. And it could be anything, compiling something. It could be making an API call. It could be doing anything you want. So the CI piece is whatever you want it to be. It's just an event. It could be a shell script. It could be doing some YAML stuff. Like I have a CI for my blog that when I, again, make a change to main, the event that kicks off is to not compile, but to test my blog itself. It tries to generate mark up from mark down. And if that passes, then it'll go on to the next step, which is continuous delivery, continuous deployment, continuous delivery is really what it is. And so in that step, then I, will build my doc. Well, technically, it's kind of, the lines are kind of blurred, but in this whole entire process, then I build the Docker image, I push it to a registry. And then at the end of the day, I do use Kubernetes and I say, hey, Kubernetes, go pull down that image I just built. So yeah, I agree. It's a concept. It's kind of abstract because it can be whatever you want it to be. And so, and it's based on this iteration loop of you do something, you get some feedback, or you do something, and then you do something with that too. It was like the worst explanation ever. You do something, then you do something else, and then you get something back and you do something else. But yeah, it's so it's not a technology itself. It's really, I mean, if you're using Git flow, and that's, sorry, I mustache, when my mustache gets this long, every now and then, like one of them points straight up and it's like in my nose, and that's what's going on. Anyways, but if you're using Git flow, like Git for your repository, for your code or for your stuff, you have Git events that fire off when you push to it, when you merge into it, when you branch it. And so from those events, you could do different things. So the most common is, hey, a change on main, run some CI. Or, if it's a more established software company, most people don't do what I just said. Most people will say, hey, on a pull request into main, do this thing. And so, in that thing you do, you would run tests, right? And so me as a developer, let's say I want to work on a feature. I'm like, yeah, I got a fix for that. That problem you have, I'm going to fix it. Well, I'd create my own branch off main, work on that, fix it, push my branch up, and open a pull request. And then when I open a pull request, that could kick off CI, right? And so that CI process that runs might run linting, which is just saying, hey, do you follow our code style? Yes or no? It might run unit test, which says, hey, do your functions still pass the same tests? Might look for test coverage. Hey, did you write code and you don't have test coverage, and now it fell below a certain percentage, and that could pass or fail. And you can keep layering on tons and tons of stuff. Could be integration test, where it's going to go and actually spin up or do things in the QA environment or dev environment to test them out. And so after all of that passes, then maybe not, they might, let you merge in. And so, yeah, it can go on and on, but at the end of the day, it's really a process that your team agrees on, because there is no right or wrong answer, right? It's what's best for your team and what's best for the product. Like a lot of people say, you need this, you need that, you need, armchair quarterback, everything you need. But at the end of the day, your team is the one building it and supporting it. And obviously there are better ways to build and support stuff, and things that help out. But at the end of the day, it's up to your team. It's up to your product team or whatever, dev team, to decide on what that is. And at least in the developer scenario, it helps. It helps, especially with linting. Like, I could go on and on about this because this is like been my last 10 years of my life, helping teams and working on teams, helping them, standardize on stuff and build great software products. But it's fun. Anyways, I'm going way off the deep end. But that's a great question. That is a great question. Again, it's a concept. It can be whatever you want it to be. Have something there. That's what I would say. Translation. Tim types a lot of code. I do. Less lately, but I still do. I make lots of commits every week. Just less commits. I need more commits. So, anyways, Yakto, hey, how's it going? Mustache poking me in the nose. It's a scratch. Yakto YWS CEO took a trip down to California to drop off some parts. Now off to see my folks, but still going to find some time to remote in and do the OpenStack upgrade. That is awesome. Trip down to California. So I know you're in the Pacific Northwest, mainly because I say you own YWS in the PNW. I think I got the acronym right. And down to California. So man, that is awesome. Sounds like a good trip. That always sounds like a fun trip to drive like down the coast, the whole West Coast. So, and then you're still finding time to remote in and do the OpenStack upgrade. I hear you, man. That's me too. That is totally me. I'm like, okay, I've done enough life. I've done a lot of life today. Now I need to do some tech stuff. Hey, but have a safe trip. Have a safe trip, and I hope your upgrade goes well. Hope it goes well. Hello, Wings. Hey, hello, Wings. How's it going? Buy 5 Giraffe. Hey, do you have a list of Plex remote play servers or a preferred config to only allow certain IPs access to the port? I don't want to open up remote play to everyone. I don't think there's a way. And, I mean, there might be. This is hard to think about because at the end of the day, like, you open a certain port for Plex, and then Plex itself will check to see if that port's open. And I think the way it works is if that person trying to get to you can't get to you directly, they can proxy through Plex to get to you. But if they can, I think it just tells them, okay, go straight to this IP address. You could. I mean, this is going to take some experimentation. I've never done it myself, and it's not a feature that's supported. But you could try to figure out what the IP addresses are of Plex, because you'll need to, I think, have that open, and then you'll have to block all other IP addresses except for those on your firewall. There's no easy way to just like go in and Plex and say, hey, I only want these people, or I only want this, or the other harder way is give them your IP address directly and don't go through Plex at all and turn off, remote access. But, then it's like Plex players and all that stuff. So, but that's probably what I do. It kind of stinks to have that port open. I totally get it. And I see people trying to do things to that port all the time. So what I do, I have a couple rules. I do, IDS, IPS inspection on there. I block anyone not from the United States. Like, I layer on some stuff. And that seems to field a lot of it. But it's just comes with, the territory of self-hosting anything, whether it's Plex or anything else. Like that port is open, and you just got to hope that, the security behind that port, and I don't mean like physical security or even like OS security or anything like that. I mean like the authorization system that Plex uses. Hopefully that's okay, So I don't know. That's all I can think of right now. But that's gonna take some tinkering, and and it might break Plex for a little bit, and it's gonna be maybe painful for the other person, not for you, but for the other person. So. I know I feel like that's a good question too for an LLM, because like, I feel like that's kind of like something like it might be good at figuring out, or someone's asked it before. I mean, basically, if it's been asked on Reddit, But I would definitely look into it. I think there are ways, but you would have to know every Plex IP address so you don't, accidentally block them too. So. Makes sense. Plus, I'll isolate some devices. So yeah, even if they got in, all they can do is ruin my Plex and not access my other devices. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's tough. I wish there was an easy answer. I wish you could just say yes. Only allow these IP addresses plus Plex. Oh wow, big one. Hitman. As of now, I'm currently 80% through my HomeLab journey, or at least until I go broke from upgrading again. Networking section is complete, and now I have a CyberPower 1500 VA UPS. Nice. My NAS is fully finished. Whoa. And so is my backup server for now, since I got my first enterprise drives ever. 3 4 terabyte Exos. Nice. My big project right now is finishing up my AI server and fully integrating everything. I just need to get a GPU, 128 gigabytes of RAM, and some drives, and I'll be done. Dude, Hitman, that is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, man, you are getting close. You are getting close to being done. I feel like I'm never done with HomeLab, because by the time I think I'm done, I'm like, oh, I could change this, and it's just like cascading, effect. It's my current thing is like, yeah, I should probably move my Docker containers that are running over to TrueNAS, and then it's like, oh, if I do that, then that machine's free, and then this is free, and then, oh, I probably want to move my video card into there because it was in the other machine. Can I fit it in there? If not, So it's tough, but I'm glad. It sounds like you have a good plan going forward, and you're sticking to it, which I rarely do, and you're getting pretty close. So that is pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. The GPU in the server is a tough one. I mean, I had to rip my Storinator apart to get mine in. I wish there was a stubby. I wish there was a stubby video card that wasn't so long that still had a ton of VRAM. So I don't know. We're still so early in LLM stuff that, while it seems like NVIDIA is kind of catering to the LLM crowd with their new 50 series, they're really not. I mean, they beefed up some stuff, sure, but I think they're probably maybe ready for a better designed card, because they're still milking the 30 series design. You know what I mean? Just more chips, different places, different cords. So it'll be interesting to see if they ever build one from the ground up just to handle that. So because it sounds interesting. So, but yeah, it's a good plan until it isn't. Yeah, looking at the 3060, but they're $500-600 here. Yeah, that's tough, man. That's tough, because the 3070 isn't even that expensive here. I think that's the one that has 12 gigabytes of RAM, and it's not even that expensive here. Yeah, that's tough. So that's tough. What's the best Linux distro for server? I assume that is, man. That's this is like asking for trouble. I feel like I'm getting socially not hacked, but I'm getting baited right now. Anyways, and then you clarify for game servers. I mean, really any of them are going to be the best, right? And so, there are opinions on which is the best one, and a lot of those are based on, either the package manager or something else that's in that Linux, or that has a newer kernel, or that the packages get updated sooner, or a different environment. So I'd say Linux in general is highly personal. I'll tell you, I use Ubuntu server. It's just what I'm comfortable with. I like Aptitude, even though it seems like most of them are moving towards snaps. Who knows about that? Again, this is like the package manager getting in the way. And so I'd say use whatever you feel comfortable with. I will say that, Batocera distro is good for game. Yeah, and Mupa, yeah. Batocera, yeah, if you're doing, because that's game emulation? Maybe not. That's a full distribution for game hosting. Yeah, I mean that's an option too. But if you're just going to build one, you know, and then run Steam on top of it to host game servers or some other game servers, any are going to work. I will say though, Ubuntu and Debian are supported big time. Like you won't ever have to worry about like, hey, is this package going to be there? Or within reason. But Debian and Ubuntu are highly compatible with a lot of things. And I feel like if you go that route, you won't go wrong for game hosting. And then, you know, it sounds like you're early on your Linux journey. You could venture out from there. Yeah, not a fan of snaps. I don't know. I just want people to agree. Honestly, I don't care where my packages come from. I just want it to work. And I want one, honestly. So I want one and I want it to work. You know, and maybe that's kind of the developer in me where I'm like, you know, just give me the stuff. I want it to work. Like, you know, I don't care where it comes from. Because I've been installing dependencies for like ever, you know, when you start to think of software development, even going back to .NET and, you know, any language, you have to install so many libraries. And for the most part, I don't care where they come from, how they come from, just give them to me and make it repeatable. And so, you know, maybe I should care more about, snaps or Flatpak or aptitude, but I honestly don't. I just want to use one and I want it to work. So, so I'm probably not the best person to have an opinion about a package manager because I honestly don't. I don't want to say I don't care, but I honestly it doesn't rile me up like it does some people. I just want the same one. I think where it gets tough for me is like, hey, I just did 90% of this in aptitude, and now this one is a snap, and it's like, really? Like now I have two. Like I don't want two. So if this is all solved by, you know, package manager X, I'll use package manager X. Oh man. So hey folks, how do you guys solve USB plug and play in a Proxmox VM? When I do is I don't pass through the whole USB controller, although you could. I just add a USB device. I think I do it by. Do I do it by port? I think I do it by port, which is probably not the right way. I like choose the physical port that's plugged in. It's probably not the right way. But there are a couple ways people probably have better answers than me. But I think I do it by port. There's two ways to do it. I can't remember. I've only passed USB devices in a couple of times when it was keyboard and mouse for some testing, and I think a Bluetooth dongle for something else. So device support. Thank you. So then I do it the absolutely wrong way. I choose the device. I do. Or no. Yeah. I choose a device, which is probably the better way. Now that I think of it, that's probably a good way because you don't want to say it's port 3 all the time. What if you move it? I just want it to be, you know, device A. So wherever device A appears, that's what I want to have happen. So yeah, that's what I do. Thank you. And I forgot to send that raccoon poop, raccoon pop. Let's see. Let's go here. Buy 5 Giraffe. Is HDHomerun still your preferred tuner for home and live TV? I only need 2 tuners since I live alone. I really like Plex Pass features too. Yes, it is. And I was the same as you. Like I had for a long time, I only had a Plex tuner with 1 tuner, and I was waiting. And finally, they stopped supporting the one that I had because it didn't do, you know, it didn't have a certain codec. And after that, it was like the 4 tuner was the only one. So do I want 4 tuner? Did I need 4 tuners? No. But every now and then it comes in handy because I noticed like, you know, I record like tons of TV because then like I'll skip through commercials and just watch stuff that I want to watch. My wife does too. I don't want to say we watch a ton of TV, but there are some shows on there like I like to watch that, you know, without buying an app and subscription I can't get. So it's like, well, if I could just record them over the air, skip commercials, that's pretty much just as good. But even better because I didn't pay and I'm not using their app. So anyways, though, yes, it is. I think Aver Media for a long time was making one too, but I've been a huge fan of HDHomerun since way back. I can't even remember. Like they've been around for so long. And Elgato used to make one too. This is like Elgato's beginnings was they made a TV tuner for Mac of all things, and which is kind of weird. Now Elgato's, you know, all gaming, all in, which is pretty cool. But yeah, anyways, long story short, HDHomerun. I've been nothing but happy with it. It's great. It still gets software updates, and it works great. Who knows what's going to happen, when it comes to encryption and stuff like that. So, anyways, yeah, it's great. It's great, and I don't think you'll go wrong. Like if you can buy the 2-tuner one and it's a significant discount, yeah, absolutely go for it. But I had a hard time finding the 2-tuner one, so the 4 is the one that's only in stock that I found. So it's awesome. It's awesome. Hitman, I do have one question. I currently have an Orbi Wi-Fi 6 AX12000 or something like that mesh system. Is there any way to get 10 gigabit speed since I don't have 10 gigabit? No. Nope. I mean, you're limited by, by your network. Yeah. So there's no way. If you don't have 10 gigabit Ethernet port on the router, no, there's no way. There's no way. It'll just be capped at whatever, it'll be capped at, it's like, you'll just have a bottleneck, and there's a couple of things too, like you're going to have multiple bottlenecks along the way. Right. So let's say you bought a 10 gig package from your ISP, right? And your WAN port does 2.5 gigabit. Great. So you're only going to get 2.5 gigabit at most out of that 10. But then let's say you have an uplink to another switch that's only gigabit, and then everything downstream's only going to get gigabit, right? And then let's say that's connected to an access point, right? That may do 200, 300, 400 megabit, right? And so, it's going to be, the slowest link in the entire chain is going to be as fast as your network's going to be. So it's only going to be as fast as your slowest link. And if your slowest link is gigabit, that's the most you're going to get. That's the most you're going to get. But keep in mind that with wireless, you're most likely not getting gigabit. With Wi-Fi 6, if you're not using 6 gigahertz, you're probably getting somewhere in the 4 to 5, 6, 7 if you're super lucky. At least unless you turn your channel width super high up, so you might get super fast speeds right next to the access point, because you have a wide band, but that degrades really fast. But yeah, just aggregate 10 gigabit ports. Yeah, go for it, for sure. At least, yeah. I mean, in theory that sounds awesome, but you'd end up getting 10. Yeah, maybe 10 individual 1 gigabit pipes, which is, hey, that's better than nothing. So that one person's not hogging it all, right? You're going to need it somewhere along the line between whatever devices. Yeah, you want to connect at 10 gigabit speeds, for sure. And yeah, so that's a good point too. Like, hey, if you want to do device-to-device communication, sure. You could put, so let's take this back. I thought you meant from the internet. Like, you can take a switch, like I have one. This isn't the right one. This is one that just came out. But imagine this was 10 gig, and this whole thing was 10 gig, right? And this was my uplink to my router. Well, if these are all 10 gig, and all of these clients are connected to each other, and they're only going to communicate with each other, like, they can communicate with each other still at 10 gig, right? It's as soon as you hop and try to traverse to somewhere else that it's not going to be 10 gig. I think you're talking about your ISP, but I want to make clear if you could, still have a network that one leaf in the entire, system or one child router has 10 gig, and those devices can communicate with each other in 10 gig, but nothing upstream from them. But yeah, so anyways, yeah, it's good to think about. It's good to think about. If it's between WAN and LAN devices, switch with 10 gigabit, yeah, is what you'll need, and then devices have to support it for sure, yeah. Yeah, it's whatever the slowest link could be your card, could be wireless, could be an uplink, could be a switch, and it depends where you are physically in that chain too. If you're all the way at the bottom, if you're like the grandchild, the client, and all of the parent devices all the way up, have a certain connection, yeah, you're limited by the slowest one in that whole entire chain. Busy morning, Budney, how's it going? Busy morning, installed my Flex. Oh, speaking of, this is exactly what I was holding up. So the Flex 2.5 PoE, this is exactly what this is, which is pretty interesting, especially the PoE plus. So the 10 gigabit PoE plus. Now we got 3 pluses on there. It's like Notepad plus, except for one more plus. And then, yeah, it's got the 10 gig SFP plus, which is pretty cool. Speaking of pluses. But yeah, this switch was kind of a surprise to me, because they, recently, air quotes, released the Flex, the PoE plus 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 plus. Yeah, there will be. Who knows? Like, when do you just go to the second power? Because then you'll just say it's PoE 2, 3, 4, 5, PoE 5, PoE 6. I feel like after PoE plus plus plus, 3 of them, I would have stopped at 2, and I would have said PoE 1, 2, and 3. But man, now we have, if there's ever another plus, we're going to have to say PoE 4. PoE to the 4th power. PoE charge your car. Yeah, that's true. That is true. As soon as if you could plug in your vehicle into PoE, 1, that's awesome, and 2, that's scary. It's gonna take more than a Cat 6, 7, 8 device. But yeah, these devices are awesome. I was surprised that they released this so soon after the last one. After the last PoE switch, and I think that's just because they're getting caught up still from lack of supply chain stuff. I still think they're getting caught up, and that's why we're seeing so many devices. I mean, there's more coming, and they're more awesome. And I feel like they're finally getting caught up now. Their product is catching up to their supply chain stuff. I mean, still hard to buy, but what I mean is their product development is catching up. Sorry, their products. The product, it's crazy thing. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, a lot of this stuff has been in the pipeline for a long time, but I feel like they couldn't get it produced. This is, again, me speculating. I feel like, hey, we have all of these products. They're all certified. We just can't get them made in time. And so I feel like it was supply chain issues, even on the engineering side, on the product development side. So it's like, oh, we just saw this version, and now we're seeing this version not even a year later. So I feel like they're slowly cranking it up, and I just can't believe how many devices they have. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like they are flooding it. It's pretty awesome. So I think it's cool. There's like a switch for every occasion. They have a switch now for every occasion. You're like, oh, I'm feeling kind of light today. I'm gonna pick up a Flex, a PoE powered Flex. Oh, I'm feeling kind of, they have something for everything. They have a switch for everyone. But then again, also people still won't be happy. But I feel like this is one of the few where people will be happy because it's all PoE, all 2.5, even has 10 gig and has 10 gig with PoE plus plus plus. So if there's anyone not happy with this, they're just not happy with any product ever. The thing they won't be happy with is the price. But you gotta, whatever. That's that. So anyways, I don't mean to like talk about ubiquity stuff, but they're doing a lot of cool stuff. I'm glad you got that switch up and going. Then went bare metal on my TrueNAS backup server. Yeah. This is something I'm even considering too. I'm considering it. Mine now is virtualized, and I have a lot of craziness going on and NFS going on. I think part of the next couple of weeks is figuring out, do I run 2 TrueNAS servers? Maybe. I might, to back up one. And then, what's going on with my PBS? I'm still going to use it. Should I go physical? And if I do, can I get something super low power 1U quiet that's only on during certain time periods? Because it only needs to wake up for about 2 hours a day. And then my co-location one's back up to it, and my HomeLab stuff here back up to it. Both of them back up to it. It's pretty awesome. I back up over VPN. It's like, oh yeah, that's and it's super fast. So okay, let's see who's next. Sorry, lots of activities. Diggs Anomaly finished your 2025 HomeLab tour a few days ago. As a result, I'm revamping my HomeLab. That's why I always say you're welcome and I'm sorry when I release stuff like that or talk about stuff. It's for me, it's been this journey of like, ramping up and there's been a few journeys for me in my HomeLab. It's gone a few ways. There was, first like build it. What do I even use? And then it was, a whole bunch of used stuff and a whole bunch of different stuff over time. And then all of a sudden I started getting, different products in, and then I got to realize, okay, well, I can switch some stuff up. But then I still built my, bought all of my 1U servers and built those. And it's just kind of been this push and pull of like, do I go bigger? or do I go smaller? And I go through it a lot. Like I was talking earlier, should I just buy 6 mini PCs and run my whole HomeLab off it? I probably could, but then I get in trouble on storage. And then I'm like, okay, well, if my storage server's running, I'll just load that up with my apps in there, So I keep going back and forth. And then I think, well, running 6 mini PCs, let's say that's 30, 40 watts a piece, that's 180, maybe 200 watts when they're all full tilt. It's probably 400 or 500. Why don't I just have one server that can do virtualization and be more efficient than the 6 mini PCs? So I go through this a lot. I go through this, I don't know, I don't know what to call it. But I second guess a lot of my technology decisions. And that's what I don't want you to do. Oh, or at least hopefully you're learning from me and just saying, oh, yep, he figured that out. That's how I want to do it. Or, yep, he did it exactly the way that I would never do. I'm so glad I didn't. So I hope there's a lot of those moments in the stuff that I make. Either it confirms what you believe, or introduces you to something new. That's kind of what I want to hope. Either learn from my mistakes or learn something new. That's kind of what I'm hoping. CBN sandwich. We talked about that because that was in the sub, and I got all excited about Mongo and event-driven and event-driven programming. I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Red Unlocked. Hey, I'm just getting started and want to replace Ring with a DIY CCT HomeLab. That is awesome. Yeah, you can easily. So Red Unlocked, that is awesome. Welcome to self-hosting home security stuff. It is fun. It is fun for sure. There's a lot you can do, and there are a lot of devices you can use. When it comes to the doorbell, that's like the holy grail in self-hosted stuff. And so there are a few that are out there that will work with self-hosted stuff, but that's the holy grail is finding one that works well. But I only mentioned that because you're saying you're replacing Ring, and I assume you have a doorbell, and that's how Ring got you into the ecosystem. But yeah, you probably have heard of Frigate. Frigate, open source, awesome. Runs on Linux. It runs in a container, like all the things I wish exist 10 years ago. And then yes, there is actually Blue Iris too, which I ran. I ran Blue Iris. I'd say I thought it was going to be a lifer on Blue Iris. I had it for a long time, and I even paid the renewal subscription for many years. But if you're Windows shop and you want to run it on Windows and you want a lot of compatibility, you want a great GUI to do all this stuff and tons of compatibility with not only video cards but CPUs and everything else, NPUs. Yeah, Blue Iris is a great app. It's great. They've been around for so long and they're doing it. I'm sure they need people's support too. So yeah, both. I can recommend both of them. Super easy suggestion, or easy recommendation for me for either of those, Frigate and then also Blue Iris. And then you kind of get into like UniFi Protect. It is kind of self-hosted, but it's their application, and but the data is here on site, so you get into stuff like that too, which you should be aware of. It exists. I mean, it's things you can buy. And then there's also, what's the other? There's also some, I don't know. I was just thinking of something else, and it totally blows my mind. But there's a lot out there you could do, and it's fun. It's fun. Like I've loved doing like home security stuff for a long time, and I didn't even need to. I'm like, why do I need a camera in my apartment? I'm like on the 3rd floor, heavy duty doors. You can't get in the windows, but I don't know. There's something fun about like just being able to like check on my space when I wasn't there, and just having the confidence that like no one's in my home throwing a party and didn't invite me, those kind of things. So, but times are different now. So, and that was a long time ago. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of both of those. They work great. Oh, I was gonna say then speaking of like ancillary things or things kind of on the periphery, then you have things like what I use too is scripted, which scripted can be an MVR. You can use scripted as your MVR, but what it helps me do is to get my camera feeds into things like HomeKit, because my wife's gonna open up HomeKit and look at videos and stuff like that or whatever. And so I feed my cameras into there, which is pretty cool. Which there's this totally like I'm just gonna say it, but like if you have iCloud, like there's this. you have like unlimited free storage for videos, and like Apple, I don't know what they're doing because it's like not many people use it, but you could do a 24/7 stream with local detection because your Apple device is here to do the detection for you. And if you have an iCloud subscription, at least the $299 one, you have like unlimited cameras, unlimited storage in iCloud. Not trying to get you to use it, but I'm just saying, man, Apple, like I feel like they're going to close the loop on that soon because, you know, yeah, it's expensive for just iCloud storage. You're like, oh man, really got to pay $3 the rest of my life just to back up my phone and photos. But tack that on there, it's like, okay, it's a pretty good deal now. So let's see. Like when I'm in my basement, not having to run upstairs to see that door. Speedweener. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. The cool thing is, you can set it up this way. You'll get notified before they even ring the doorbell. So, you know, and you can get package detection. So I have turned on human detection for my doorbell camera and package detection. So usually it's like a double alert. It's like someone's at your door and a package was detected because, you know, UPS is walking up like this. It's pretty cool. And most of the times it's before they even press the doorbell. That's what's cool. Even if they don't press the doorbell, that's cool. So it's pretty cool. Like just being here and all of a sudden I just see, hey, you know, in HomeKit or even Protect, hey, you know, a package was detected. Sweet. I'll walk downstairs and bring it inside so no one takes it. So yeah, there's so many cool things you could do. So many fun things. It's fun. It's fun. I was using Scripted to feed my UniFi cameras into Google Home. Yeah, and see the feeds on my JVC home device. Hey, Kez. I do the same exact thing, but with HomeKit. Same thing. I feed them all in there. The HomeKit thinks they're certified devices. It does all of the on-device detection. So like on an Apple TV or whatever, and it'll notify me, and it's pretty awesome. And then on top of that, you know, and then I basically with iCloud, I say like, hey, if no one's home, send the feed to Apple, because no one's home here. But when I am home, don't send the feed to Apple, and it's pretty cool. Like as soon as I leave the home, feed's going to Apple. Somebody comes in, steals, you know, my hard drives from my thing. It's all going to Apple anyways. So yeah, it's pretty cool. The things you could do. So. Yeah, and I think like we're very early on in this stuff too. That's why I'm excited too. Like it feels like it's been around for a long time, but you know, when it comes to like home automation, even home security stuff, we're so early in it. You know, I know there was CCTV, but you know, the digital version of CCTV, right? And a lot of it so far is just based on what we did with the analog version. But now it's getting really smart. It's getting really smart. You know, you can ask, you know, LLM like, hey, did you see a person wearing a red hat or something like that? And it's like, here's the person wearing the red hat. You're like, awesome. I don't need to scan through thousands of hours of stuff, you know? And so it's going to be really cool. I'm excited for it, especially when it comes to video, you know, having AI, like local AI, obviously scan through that stuff and not just catalog objects. Like object detection is so easy now. Like if the camera system doesn't have object detection, you're like, yeah, probably not a good fit, right? And when I say object, you know, package, cars, license plates, people, animals, like those kinds of things. But what I think we're going to start seeing is even further to be able to ask or catalog more data about those videos, more metadata, right? Like I was saying, person with the red hat. That person with the red hat broke into my house. I don't know when. I would figure out when pretty easily. But you're like, oh, that person with the red hat, they've walked by my house at least 30 times. Something's going on. You know, just person with the red hat, boom. You know, it's like you're building a case. So anyways, I'm excited for some stuff like that. Who knows? Yeah, it's super fun. And yes, and anyways, you can tell that I'm excited about this kind of stuff, but it's super fun. It's super fun when you have a suspicious van parked outside every night. Yeah. It was funny. Someone like did an oil change outside of my house and left the oil in front of my house. Like, totally random. I'm like, I don't know if I'm mad or like amazed. Like I wasn't even mad. Like, like they just decided they were going to do an oil change in front of my house in the middle of the night and left the oil. I totally agree. It's rude, But I'm like, I was so impressed that someone's like just gonna like drive in the street and just do a random oil change on a random street. And they left it like in the containers. I mean, super easy to go and, you know, go to AutoZone and dispose of the oil properly, or, you know, pour it down the sink, what I usually do. I'm kidding. I don't do that. But I was like, I don't even know if I'm mad. It's illegal most. Yeah, for sure. I was kidding about pouring the oil down the drain. You have to dispose of it properly, and you usually have to pay too. Oh, doing car work in the streets? Yeah, I bet. It seems dangerous too, but yeah. Anyways, like I was like, that's a new one. I've never had someone change their oil in front of my house and leave the oil here. I've had like mufflers cut off and, you know, catalytic converters, but not like someone just self-servicing their car. So it was pretty interesting for sure. You have 72 monitors and can't say everything at once. Yeah, I do. Actually, yeah, I have one gigantic one, then another two there. That one's not on. Then I have one there, one here, one there. Yeah, and then two back there. Yeah, I have a lot going on in here. The problem is I can see everything at once. That's the problem. Is like, you know, I don't have this consolidated dashboard. You know, I have to use Stream Chat for some stuff, OBS for some stuff, Twitch activity stuff for some stuff, and then this Chat Ninja thing that I use for some stuff, or Social Stream is what it changed to. So yeah, I feel like I need to build my own UI for all this stuff. So all right, let's see. I've been obsessed with the event-driven programming. Yeah, lately I'm dreaming of log-based analytics right now. Hey, yeah, Asclepius. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I like event-driven programming too. You know, it's just like cool. Subscribe to a topic, you know, for more or less, or subscribe to something, some event, and you just wait. You wait forever. And when that event comes through, you do something, you know. And if you have a lot of events, that's when it can get really crazy. And then you got to have filters and only look at these events. So yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. You know, and then you have to account for multiple events. Maybe the same event fired, or when you connect to a topic, maybe the last event fired. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun to play with, and it's super fun to figure out. And it's a lot better than long pulling. I mean, you know, your options are, and there are probably more, but event driven, where you wait for an event, you subscribe and you wait, or the other is you pull. How often do you pull? How long do you pull? You know, and so the other side of that is just long pull. You know, basically, you know, on the REST side or the client side, you just pull, say, hey, do you have anything for me? And just wait, and you wait, and you wait until it times out, and then you just fire it off again. And so, you know, if APIs are compatible with long polling, that's cool. So that's like a half step to get there. Yeah, but event is so much more fun because it's near real time. So you're getting near real time instead of saying, hey, do you have something for me? Hey, do you have something for me? It's like, let me know when you have something for me. You know, it's taking that approach. Let me know. Was configuring a web version of Obsidian Note app with Docker, pointing from a vault in NFS share with Synology NAS. Unfortunately, the Synology software I use to sync my vault to my desktop computer and smartphone doesn't detect the file changes with the vault directly. Oh, I see. So right now, I'm currently looking into real-time file sync like Synology, but I'd need to look how to limit battery usage on mobile. I see what you're doing. So you're using Obsidian, the Note app, with Docker, pointing it to a vault and an NFS share, which works, but then, you know, the software you use to sync doesn't detect changes. And so that's interesting. It doesn't detect changes. So I don't know what you're using to sync. I feel like it should. Like if there was some kind of modification, maybe it's in a hidden folder. I don't know. I don't know how they do it. I assumed it was Markdown, or they were generating some Markdown, or they had some kind of database for Obsidian, but that's too bad. You're like one step away from it working and not paying for the cloud version, for sure. Bill Nash, I should rename my RV to Kafka because it's a bus. Yeah, that's good. I like it. Keep them coming. It is a bus. It's a message bus. I love it. Let's see. Hey, Raisin. Is that Raisin Girl? Raisin Girl. Oh, sorry. I thought I said raisin. Like, not like the grape, the fruit, but like raising. Anyways, hey, huge fan. Friend has gotten me into tech. Recommendation, you recommended you. I wish I could speak as the best. You are amazing. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. There are lots of people out there, but I appreciate it. Love your videos and HomeLabs. 2025 HomeLab tour was incredible. Hey, thank you. And I say this to a lot of people, but like, don't ever feel like because like, hey, that dude on the internet, like he has tons of stuff and he has like hue lights going on in there and like he has all this new gear mixed with this other cool gear. Don't ever think like that's like any kind of standard for anybody to live up to have a HomeLab. Because I say this all the time, like it is what you make of it, right? And so because mine is big and gnarly doesn't mean that other people's have to be. They can be small and quaint and efficient. And I will say, like, you know, like after I started showing mine on YouTube, I kind of had to, you know, I had to zhuzh it up a little bit to make it look, you know, YouTube ready. There were times in my old ones where it wasn't YouTube ready. It was old machines nailed to, screwed into a piece of plywood on the wall that I put there. But I did paint that piece of plywood white. So, but I appreciate it. Like again, like, you know, I don't ever want anyone to feel like, I don't know, one, that I'm trying to show off, or two, that like they're being held to some weird standard out there because of people's home labs looking nice on the internet. No, that's not how it is. So, oh, where are the messages coming from? Oh, they're in chat. They haven't before. Olex, the dev, I demand ACM lab background instead of those pretty lights. Yeah, at some point, I do need to switch it up. But I enjoy lights. But BertSec, to answer your question, you type them in, and if I can get to them, I will definitely answer them. And so you must have just joined, or joined in the last, 5-10 minutes, and so I'm way behind. Have you ever tried Caddy for your reverse proxy, Sigor? I'm trying to use that with the Cloudflare plugin to work, but I'm still getting DNS errors when I try to hit my homepage. I haven't. I hear so much about Caddy. That I don't know. I've never tried it, so I have nothing to input. I hear a lot about it, but I've just never tried it. BertSec, my sub is not even showing up on the left. If you did it recently, hopefully, I see you followed. Oh, and I see you subscribed. Yeah, so that event didn't fire off 24 minutes ago. Dude, BertSec, I don't know what happened. You should have seen the lights flash. They didn't. I can manually flash them, I think. Okay, I don't know where my remote is to manually flash them. Oh, I just said like I can manually flash them, and I can't find the remote. Yeah, I can. It's exactly where I thought it should be. So this should have happened automatically. But what happened? What I think happened was, that the event didn't trigger from Twitch, and that's why you're not seeing it on the list, and that's why the lights didn't flash back here. Because I wrote the code, and the code, speaking of event-driven programming, it's all event-driven. And so this is going to be super nerdy, but I subscribe to Twitch events. When they fire off an event that says, hey, sub, or hey, bits, I look at that, and then I flash the lights. Those lights are controlled by Home Assistant. So I have, I have a container running that I wrote that runs my own code that subscribes to Twitch and processes those messages. And then if it needs to do something in this room, it will do that in the room. And that's all in Home Assistant. So it's pretty wild. Yeah, if you change the lights in here, that's everything that's going on. It is pretty wild. Wrote that a long time ago with my own code, and then I finally decided, instead of writing code against like weird APIs, I'm going to use Home Assistant. And ever since I switched over to writing code against Home Assistant, it's been bulletproof, like most of Home Assistant. So let's see. Do you track or monitor your temp, humidity, or other environmental stats in your rack or room, home or outside? If so, which IoT devices are you using, and would you recommend? And what software might you use to record or visualize it? Wow, Monkey Boy. Yeah, so I'm embarrassed to show how many temperature monitors I have going on in my server room, and it's not by choice. It's just because a lot of things come with it. So Yes, I do. So I do use temperature monitoring. So like I said, it comes bundled with a lot of things. So first, I have a hue motion detection and light sensing sensor and temperature sensing sensor in my server room. So that can do all of it, right? And so there's one way I can get temperature, I can get motion, I can get humidity, I can get whatever, and then that feeds into Home Assistant. So that's it's coming. So that feeds into Home Assistant. That's one way. So that's Hue integrating with Home Assistant works. Then on top of that, I just got recently Zigbee. So this brand called Third Reality, they make a lot of cheap Zigbee stuff, and it's awesome because it'll just work with Zigbee adapters like the one I have, and it integrates right into Home Assistant. And on top of that, you can even update the firmware with Home Assistant. So I have a Zigbee temperature monitor also. That's for some of my 3D printing stuff. And then I do have the Axe effect from Craft Computing, which it's the beta version, but I have it in my rack, and that does temperature and humidity. And it's super accurate too, and it's super bulletproof. It just runs, and I never have to do anything to it. I haven't even flashed it with any firmware besides the last one he gave me, which was like 4 months ago. So that's in there, and that's running, and that's hooked up to Home Assistant as well. So then I visualize everything in Home Assistant. So once you add these devices in Home Assistant, it's tracking the data for you. Obviously, the tail on that data, I think you can choose how long you want that data to persist, and that's up to you. But you can visualize it right there in Home Assistant. So I think you get some out of the box too. With anything that has like a temperature control or something like that, I think it will graph it for you automatically. So that's that's kind of what I use. So to sum it all up, another thing is you'll get 2 for 1 on some of these. I kind of mentioned it, how I have the hue motion sensor that also does humidity, that also does light. Look for that. Look for some device where you can get multiple sensors out of it. Not saying like, hey, getting temperature and humidity is a bad choice, because I've done it, but it's very specific. But if you can do something else like, hey, motion detection and light detection, and it does temperature, that's awesome. And then you could program other things like that. Like, hey, there's motion in the server room, turn on the lights. And so that's exactly what I have. That's why it's always light mode in my server room. I walk in there, detects motion, it turns it on all full blast. And then I could see in my server very easily with those lights. I almost need sunglasses in there. So, but a lot of things, I feel like they just they sprinkle on temperature and humidity to a lot of these devices. So I'm trying to think what else I have that has it. Like totally random, like I have an infrared. So the way that I control these lights, those lights down there have an infrared panel, right? Because I did it with this remote. And so this remote right here is infrared. And so that's hard. That's hard for anything to communicate with it, right? Because you need this remote. Well, I ended up picking up this, I forget what it's called. It's not Broadcom, Broadlink. I always want to say Broadcom, but I picked up this Broadlink Wi-Fi device that I can program and say, hey, I can train it to know these things. And that's, when I press this, I don't know, strobe button or flash button, whatever was happening earlier, it's because I've trained this device to send that out. And that thing, of all things, has humidity and temperature, so that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of devices will have it. So if you're looking for something and you want to do something cool, like you want to do, infrared or something with radio or something with Bluetooth, sometimes they'll just throw it in there. So you might not have to buy that sensor specifically. You might end up just getting it and getting something else you want at the same time. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, it's all Home Assistant. It's 100%. Like it would be cool to have some long-term stuff with I don't know, Grafana over time, but it's I don't know. It's pretty. It's it's fun to know. Like I would love to have year-to-year stuff. That I think is important. I would love to be able to like summarize the data after a month. So the last 30 days, I think, are pretty important. The last week, last 24 hours, every single data point, I think it's pretty important. for the most part. The closer it is to now, the more critical I feel like it is. But I wish I could have something that could then summarize and say, hey, March, April, May, here were those values, right? And just summarize that data rather than having, 100,000 data points for, one day. Anyways, I don't know if that's a thing, but it would be cool if Home Assistant could summarize that data, and then so I don't have to have the data points themselves. But anyways, it would be cool, and that's something I could do totally with Grafana or something if I was really good at it. That's how Grafana Influx is usually set up. Yeah, for sure. Not G10. Cool. That is awesome. Hopefully they summarize it too, and then get rid of the original values. I mean, you might need the original values, but you might not need, I don't know, 10 gigs of logs, to summarize that data. And hopefully they just summarize the data and then sweep out the old stuff, because that's awesome. If that's what it does, that's exactly what you want. Yep, resolution drops based on the age. Oh yeah, not G10. Thank you. That is awesome. All right, Influx. I need to look into it. Grafana and Influx. If I could hook it up to Home Assistant, who knows? That sounds like it's getting a little bit better. Okay, so I'm totally new with HomeLab. I'm looking for some products to get. I got lots of them. I'm totally new at HomeLab. I'm looking for some products to get. And would you recommend the JetKVM? Yes, I would. Yeah, absolutely, I would. Mine's right over here. I haven't done a video on it. Full disclosure, I didn't want to do a video on it until I had it in my hands. And it's not that I didn't trust the company, and I knew their Kickstarter was gonna deliver. Like, it was nothing like that. I just felt like I wanna play with the thing that other people can buy, And so I have one. Mine arrived, and look, I said yes before I even knew you had a use case for it, because I think it's that awesome, and it's affordable, right? It's capable, it's affordable, and it's designed really, really well. And so anyways, yes, I think you should if you need to remote control a machine. It's funny, I've talked to so many people on Twitter or wherever else that are just like, yeah, I bought one and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I mean, that's how well I think that just speaks to, I think, how well having a good user experience and probably good design helps out, because this thing's the whole package. Even their packaging is incredible. I mean, I could show. Yeah, I should grab it real quick. Yeah, so this thing, whole product. So when you think of, some things some products, might solve a particular problem, but they over-index on engineering. Or some things might try to solve a problem and they over-index on design. And so it doesn't deliver what you think it would expect. And on the engineering side, if you over-index on that side, then you might not be providing a good user experience. You could have every bell and whistle and feature in the world with your product, but if the users don't know it or it's hard to use, then what good is it anyway? So anyways, that's why I think they totally nailed whole product. And I'm not even talking about the software yet. This is just the hardware. And again, this isn't sponsored by them. I bought this with my own money. I backed it. This is my money. I spent it on here. And I mean, just even the packaging too. I mean, the packaging, you've seen their marketing materials too. They have the CAD drawing visualizations of stuff. I'm like, man, they're either paying a lot for these artists or they got some really good artists working on this stuff. And it's pretty sweet. Well, you're seeing a reflection in there. I mean, the thing is substantial. It's made of metal, it has a touch screen. I haven't even played with it. Honestly, I'll never do it. I might swipe through. But I will say, hey, if you need to remote control a machine, yeah, I would highly recommend it. A spoiler alert, that will be in my video, is that I recommend it. Although I haven't tested it with the 50 machines that I have here yet, because I totally had to ignore this product when it arrived. Because I was like, if I even open this, I'm going to lose like a day of stuff and I need to edit my video. I did open it though, just so I can take some photos, but then I threw it on that shelf over there and I didn't even know where I put it. That's why it took me a second to find it, because that's how I am. If I start to play with stuff, I'll get sucked in. So anyways, yes. If you need a remote controller machine, sure. But if you don't need a remote controller machine, then it's like, well, you know, I mean, do you need to spend the money? Probably not. Probably not. You didn't realize you could still back it. Just ordered 2 of them. Yeah, you can, Palace. The thing is, I wanted to buy 6 of them, but I couldn't change my backing status, which kind of stinks. Something with Kickstarter. Like I couldn't, because it was over and because I already backed it, I couldn't like reback it. I had to like create another Kickstarter account and use a different credit card. It was pretty wild. So anyways, I do think they did a great job. Like it's so weird that like we have so many KVM options right now. Like I never would have thought, if you would have said like all these new KVMs are going to come out, and I'm like, what? I'm glad they are. Because they're all serving a particular need, which is a lot of us need to remote control machines. We're not going to physically go to the machines. We might not even be capable of doing that, but we still need remote access to the machines, hardware level remote. So it's pretty cool. But I thought it was a real testament to how well they did with the design, the marketing. When I heard people say, I bought 1 of them, I haven't used it yet. I bought 2 of them. I don't know what to do with it. Like there's very few products in the world where you're just like, yeah, I'm going to buy it. And then like, I'll figure it out later. No, usually you're like, yes, that will solve a problem. Yes, I want that because I need something like that. But you're just like, yeah, I'll figure it out later. That's they like captured the impulse buy, I think, on this one. So anyways, if you need remote control, absolutely. I mean, it's inexpensive. I don't want to say cheap because there's nothing cheap about this thing. I mean, it's metal. It's got a glass screen. It's got touch screen. I do wish that this one was PoE powered, but I can't have everything. So, and I think I could do PoE over USB-C and get it to work that way. So, anyways, I have solutions for it, but I just wish they offered one because yeah, I'm gonna load up on a couple of them. So. When I'm planning on getting a few old Fire tablets, when I move, I'm planning on getting a few old Fire tablets and put them in picture frames and have nice looking Home Assistant displays. I like where this is going. Yeah, Trey Pop. I like it. Yeah. So old Fire tablets, and then you'll have a touch screen, and then make your Home Assistant displays. Maybe you can interact with them. Maybe you can't. But yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, I definitely, I kind of. I've had a Nest for a long time, thermostat, like almost as soon as they came out. I still have the original one. And there's something about having that display and being able to do that versus like, let me dig in my phone. Where's that app at? Oh, well, like what? I need to sign in. There's something to be said about having like, your UI and your controls physically there that you can go to and press. Maybe that's old school in me, but I agree. It would be nice to have something like you're talking about, like a display or controls through a tablet on the wall, so you can just walk up and say, yes, the garage door is open. It should be closed. You know what I mean? Like at a glance. So it's kind of like your heads-up display. Know at a glance, make changes, in your home. Yeah, it sounds awesome. I'm all for it. Oh man, I went way over. My wife's like, she didn't say anything, but a few times I've gone over, and now she asked me like, is it really 4 or is it later? Only because we have stuff to do sometimes. But I will call this one out. Johnny, hey, I just got a new job and I have to design a whole data system for all business data. Wow. Contracts, people data, franchisees, financials. Sorry, my glasses. They're a small company with 150, but growing fast. First iteration is just spinning up PostgreSQL DB on AWS and store historic data and move from there. I only have 4 years of experience, so I feel a little out of my depth, but honestly, I enjoy it. Learning weeks, months of info each day. Yeah, that is a lot. That is a lot, but that is awesome. So two things. One, that's awesome that your company is doing that, and you get to design. You know, you're doing the data design for the system. That's tough. I bet that's tough because you kind of have to think about relationships between different objects or different domains altogether. How do these relate? What's the foreign key? Like how do I query this effectively? Like those kind of things are hard. It's hard to design up front. And I think like White 30X said, yeah, sounds like a great learning opportunity. I agree. Rarely do you get to walk into a company and design something new. Unless it's a startup or you're doing something entirely new, you usually walk in to, some architecture or some design that's already there. And I mean, if you're in software development, you might build new products, build new features. Yeah, for sure. But rarely do you have it's greenfield. Like, hey, design our entire data system. So that is pretty awesome. And I would feel out of my depth too. So don't worry. Like I've had a lot more experience than 4, but I would too, especially if it's, I don't know what market they're in, but it's, you have to learn the business and what the business does and what all of these acronyms mean. So yeah, it sounds fun, but it sounds awesome too. Great opportunity for sure, for sure. That's I agree. I myself, I would be a little bit like, oh man, I hope I get this right, but you got it. I'm not trying to scare you, but you got this. You got this. There's a great Zigbee base out there that runs over Ethernet and PoE. Yeah, Tim did a video on it. I've been using it for a while now. Even before that video, it just works. I agree. It's the SMLIGHT one. SMLIGHT, yeah. And so if you get that, it's pretty cool, the SMLIGHT PoE adapter, because it can be multiple things, but only one at once. What do I mean? Well, it can be, your Zigbee controller for all your Zigbee devices. Pretty cool. It can be a repeater for your Zigbee controller. Pretty cool. There's 4 things. It can be a Bluetooth proxy. I don't know why I'm doing this, but pretend that's because it has an antenna. It could be your Bluetooth proxy. So say you have Bluetooth devices, want to connect them to Home Assistant. The Bluetooth devices are in this room. Home Assistant is, 3 doors down and across the street. Just run a long wire and, plug it in up here. Exaggerating. But, and then you can connect Bluetooth devices. Pretty cool. And now it can be also a thread border router, which is a mouthful to say. But similar to Zigbee, how you have to have a controller to manage the state of everything. Same with Thread. Thread, you need a controller. Thread border router, kind of weird name. But it's the one that communicates with devices and back to the system. So it can do so many things, and it's PoE powered. That's another thing. Like, man, who would have thought that like someone's gonna create this awesome antenna that's PoE powered too? So. Yeah, I have a video on it. It's pretty geeky, but it's pretty fun. So anyways, if you want to go deep in Home Assistant and you're going to go Zigbee or you're going to go Thread or you need a lot of Bluetooth devices connected and, you don't want to plug them into the machine itself, there's a PoE adapter that can do all of that, but only one at a time. You got to choose when you start. You got to choose the firmware, but it's pretty awesome. So I actually picked up another one because I actually do need a Bluetooth proxy now. So I'm like, okay, one's dedicated to Zigbee, one's dedicated to Bluetooth devices. So it's pretty awesome. It's great. So SMLIGHT, there are better models than others. I think the one that I have ends in an M, something like 6M. That's the one you want. So Postgres SQL org site, and while they have a nice list of design tools, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I only use pgadmin, so I rarely get to design database or do any kind of database design. I just usually I'm doing queries. I'll create schemas and stuff like that, but less on the design. It's like, hey, I need a table, and I need these attributes, and here are the types. But Postgres is awesome. If you're starting anything new ever, and you get to pick the database, and then it's structured data. Yeah, Postgres is definitely the way to go because their licensing and how performant it is and all the things it can do. That's the way to go for sure. I think so. All right, y'all. I went way over, and I feel bad that I'm gonna have to skip some. So I do apologize. Oh, geez, I feel bad. I gotta skip some of these. Are you scripted? Oh yeah, we talked about that. All right. I don't know. By the way, I'm just clicking on stuff. This is the one I clicked on. By the way, do you have your IoT devices on their own network VLAN? I was thinking of doing that, but unsure how Home Assistant, would be configured in that case. Yeah, this is a good topic, and it's a great topic, not only because you're talking my language, VLANs and Home Assistant, but it is a good topic because, like, I think it's something that a lot of people should do if they have the capability to do it. Is to segment your network and say, here are the things I trust, and here are the things I don't trust. So take IoT out of it and just say, here are the things I trust. That like I trust to put my data on. I'm not saying like you trust it with your life, and then it'll never get hacked. It's just like, yes, I will put my data on this thing. I will put my data on a phone. I will sign into this computer and use this computer, right? And so I went really far overboard, but I would look at it like that and say, here are the things, I relatively trust. Here are the things I don't. And the things you don't are most likely going to be IoT devices. Now, there might be IoT devices that you do trust, right? Like, hey, if you have a HomePod from Apple, like, do you trust it? Well, probably, because you're talking to it, at some point. But at the same time, like, it's like you just got to figure out. You got to figure all that out on your own. It's no one that's going to tell you. I will say though, if you can put all similar devices on the same network, like all of your IoT devices, you kind of have to go all in. You don't have to, but it's better to go all in. Just say, yep, all of my IoT stuff is here. You can create your own VLAN for it, right? If you want to create multiple VLANs. But if you throw them all on there, now you've created a little bit of a problem. You got Home Assistant. And so where does Home Assistant live? Like, that's something you trust, something you sign into, has a lot of your data, and you think like, hey, I trust this server. I'm going to put it on my trusted side. Now how all those devices communicate with it. Now, there's a couple ways you can do it, and you can do it like that. You can absolutely make that work, where you say, hey, Home Assistant is on trusted, IoT is not trusted, all the devices over there. You set up a firewall rule that say, hey, Home Assistant can go over there, can talk to all those things over there, but they can't. And those devices can only communicate with Home Assistant, if Home Assistant initiated, the communication, basic firewall rules, right? Set one of those up. But then there's like MDNS and all this other stuff that you could set up too, and say, okay, well, you turn on MDNS for your IoT devices, and that will allow like Home Assistant to like broadcast and discover all those devices and have them reply to it. So that's a big piece too, is you'd have to turn on MDNS on that VLAN, which at least in UniFi stuff, it's pretty easy to turn on. But then there's the other approach, which is what I do, which is kind of wild. But I have two NICs on my Home Assistant, virtual, right? So I have two NICs on my Home Assistant. One is connected to the trusted VLAN, and one is connected to the IoT VLAN. And I did that because now I don't have to create a whole bunch of firewall rules and do all of that. And, if it's virtualized anyways, that's super easy to do. I didn't physically put another NIC into it. I just said like, hey, this NIC is going to listen to IoT VLAN, and this NIC is going to be on trusted VLAN, where I can get to it through the trusted mechanism. And then it can communicate on the IoT VLAN. And not only that, those devices can communicate back without me having to set up a firewall rule. So that's an easy way to do it. Neck bones connected to it. Yeah, totally. But that's an easy way to do it. Otherwise, firewall rules work fine. And I only did that because I was comfortable doing that, because like MDNS stuff on UniFi, a couple of years ago was not great. It was non-existent. And so a lot of that has gotten better. Like a lot of home networking stuff has said, whoa, people want to discover, like, right? I want to take my phone here that's untrusted, but I want to discover devices that are on a different VLAN. Like, we need to make that work. And so now, like, Ubiquiti and other companies are, enabling MDNS. And there's one other thing they can enable to help you do that. And that's kind of what I think MDNS does. Just helps you discover things on the other side that you might not know of, because you're doing a broadcast and then they're replying back to you. So yeah, MDNS. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Avahi is a great one. I think that's what, that's what UniFi has on theirs. I could be wrong. but that's a super popular MDNS service to run. So anyways, it's so weird because it's like MDNS. I'm like, what does that have to do with MDNS? And I have to rack my brain. But I think at a high level, it's just kind of like a repeater or something, so that you can discover devices on other networks, which is real important for mobile devices, right? And if you do segment your stuff, like if I couldn't, when MDNS was off, I couldn't Chromecast audio stuff from my phone. I couldn't play Spotify on some of my Chromecast audio devices. And then as soon as I turned MDNS on, I could. And so I'm like, sweet, I need that. But it was a long road to get there because, you know, UniFi's implementation didn't always work, but it's bulletproof now. So yeah, bonjour. Yeah, bonjour. That's Apple's, yeah, MDNS service for sure. Anyways, that's a long one. But what was the question again? No, I know what it was. But yes, you should. I think it's good. It's good too, right? It's good hygiene, good tech hygiene to just do it, because it means like, hey, if that company ever gets hacked and they create a botnet out of all of the IoT devices across the world that company owns, you know, they're limited to that network. And worst case scenario, all they can do is, you know, connect or communicate with other IoT devices. So I didn't have that at first. I mean, that's something I've set up during my HomeLab journey. I mean, that's something, you know, I didn't have 5 years ago. And then I think I did it 2 or 3 years ago. But I had to redo all of my network. So I really redid all of it, because yeah, anyways. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I enjoy doing this stuff, especially when it comes to networking stuff. I enjoy doing it because I don't get to do it anywhere but here. And so when I was like, oh yeah, VLANs, this is going to be fun. I mean, there are going to be times when you're going to pull your hair out, and I would just say, keep it easy, create one additional VLAN, throw all your IoT devices on it, see if Home Assistant works without putting it over there. Best case scenario. If it does, you're done. If it doesn't, turn on MDNS for that VLAN. If it works, you're done. And then if it doesn't, you could add another NIC and connect it to that VLAN, and then it should work. It should work. So